So finally, here I am to give it to you. This is my review slash discussion about Dark Empire Luke. It's about time, I know. So welcome to the Collector's Case. This is the Chewy's Bandolier YouTube channel. Let's go.
There's a new Chewbacca bandolier strap. Fits over your shoulder for play and holds 10 action figures securely. Like new Princess Leia Organic and reuse, each sold separately. It even has pouches.
New C-3PO Collector's Case Chewbacca Bandolier strap. Reuse and
Hey everyone, I'm back. It's your friend Rob, the archaeologist, and you are watching the Chewy's Bandolier YouTube channel. And this is the Collector's Case. So please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and let's get on with it. So I've been promising this for a while, and obviously life gets in the way and things happen, and I haven't been able to do anything until now. But then my due back came in. I had to do that video. So here I am, finally doing the video for Dark Empire Luke, which has been long overdue because that figure has been out for quite some time now. But it's an important figure, so that's why I want to talk about it, because it's an important version of Luke Skywalker that we maybe didn't know before, or at least some of you didn't know. I knew. Everybody my age who was a Star Wars fan knew. But at any rate, here he is, right there. He's in the case. I'm not going to take him out because I'm having trouble with my case cover at the moment, and so that's going to make this a little bit tricky. But let's just start this with a brief story about what Dark Empire Luke is, where it comes from, and why it's important that Hot Toys gave it to us. So after Return of the Jedi came out in 1983, there was a long period of no Star Wars movies. Basically nothing film-wise, nothing until 1999 when the prequels began. But in that gap, which those of us old enough to remember it refer to as the dark times, there was something that did fill it. And what we had was what is now known as Legends. At the time, it was simply Star Wars. It was just the Star Wars books, the EU, as we used to refer to it as, the expanded universe. It basically bridged the gap between the period of when Return of the Jedi came out to when Phantom Menace came out. And you're talking about 16 years, roughly. So we had 16 years of the only Star Wars we could get being books and comics, and to some extent some video games, and some other peripheral material. But for the most part, it was books and comics and video games. So during that time, in 1991, we got a comic book series by Dark Horse, who had the license to do Star Wars comics. And we got their comic book series called Dark Empire. So Dark Empire was drawn by Cam Kennedy and written by Tom Veitch. And it was a very important Star Wars story. It picked up a few years after the events of Return of the Jedi. Luke is an extremely powerful Jedi Master and basically senses a disturbance in the Force, as you would imagine. So essentially what happens is, and this is a storyline, or this is a plot point that was stolen from the EU so that they could butcher it and use it in the sequel trilogy. But basically, Palpatine had been cloning himself, cloning younger bodies for himself, of himself. And basically, the reasoning for this was that he used the dark side of the Force so fully that it was corrupting his physical flesh. He was aging drastically. It would decay him, basically. That was the level of power that he was trying to use. So every time a body was spent, he would use the Force to transfer himself to a new clone body. But of course, the clone bodies, each one would last however long, and he'd have to do it again and again and again, pretty much making him immortal. But at any rate, one of the other plot points of this story was that Luke Skywalker had to embrace the dark side a little bit to try to get the Emperor to let him in on what was going on so that he could stop him. And that is where we get Dark Empire Luke. We get a version of Luke Skywalker who let himself teeter on the edge of the dark side enough that it didn't corrupt him, but it certainly made him a little bit less innocent than we remembered him from the end of Return of the Jedi. And this was a version of Luke Skywalker that nobody ever thought we were going to see in 6th scale form. It was just not likely ever going to happen. It was a comic series from the 90s. People don't remember it. The majority of the newer audience that Disney Star Wars is trying to cultivate is much younger and does not remember this, wasn't alive when the Dark Empire comics were out. So I never thought we'd see it in 6th scale form. Thankfully, Howard is a massive Star Wars fan, and he's our age. Well, my age. He's in our age range. So he remembers all of this. So we're getting a lot of this stuff now. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it with Revan. We've seen it now with Dark Empire Luke. We will be seeing it with Darth Malgus. We're going to see it with Darth Nihilus. We're going to be seeing it with a lot of these video game characters that came out. Dark Empire Luke, of course, being from the comics, but regardless, I never thought we'd see it. So the fact that we've seen it now, and possibly there will be more, is extremely exciting. And this figure is phenomenal. It looks just like Mark Hamill. The costume, the tailoring, it's every bit what you would expect. I posed him the way the character is posed on the cover of issue number 1, because I just think that's the cool looking cover pose for him. So that's why I did that. But it's just one of those things that I think holds a lot of promise, because I think there's more coming. I recently watched an AI. There's been a lot of AI fan movies being made, Star Wars fan movies being made I've noticed the last little bit. And one that I recently watched was using Shadows of the Empire as a template. And I got to see, through AI, mind you, but Luke Skywalker in the Shadows of the Empire outfit that he has in that game. It's a video game. And it's basically his black Jedi outfit, but he's wearing like a vest over it. It's a really cool look. And I'm really hopeful that Howard's got some designs on that, and that he's planning on doing some Shadows of the Empire stuff. I would love to get a Shizor, the leader of the Black Sun. I would love to get Dash Rendar, and Luke Skywalker from that game. That would be phenomenal. And by all means, keep the Knights of the Old Republic line going, because with Darth Nihilus, Darth Malgus, Revan, I believe we're getting a light side Revan. At least I saw it teased. At some point I hope we're going to get it. And then, HK-47, Bastila. There's all kinds of figures. They could really go deep with the EU. And the video game line, the comic lines. There are different comics that were really big at that time, because we were hungry for it. Star Wars was done as far as we knew in terms of movies. We were never expecting to get the prequel trilogy. We thought that was just a pipe dream, but obviously it wasn't. But at the time, we didn't know that. So what we ended up getting, when we've gotten a lot of prequel stuff, but what we ended up getting before that was a lot of comics, a lot of books, a lot of video games. There's another comic book series called Tales of the Jedi that I loved during the Dark Horse years in the 90s. and there was a character called Ulic Keldroma, and he was a Jedi Knight. And I want that figure. I would love that figure. Absolutely. But that's what I mean about mining things from other formats, video games, comics, books. There's more than enough stuff out there. And I know Howard's got the imagination to do it. I just hope he has the will, because Dark Empire Luke, as a figure, he knocked it out of the park with that one. I absolutely love that piece. It's one of my favorite figures in my collection. So I'm hopeful that we're going to get more, because I really, really, really want more. I'm building a new collection case. These two are going to have a brother at some point, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. And then I'll be able to actually spread things out a little bit, make for a nicer looking collection. But for right now, this is what I got. So at any rate, that's my little spiel about Dark Empire Luke. I hope that was informative for you. I hope you understand why that figure was such a big deal when it got announced and why so many people wanted it. And in the meantime, as I've said before, I am still trying to grow this channel. I've made a resolution for 2026 that I'm going to concentrate a little bit more on this and try and get out more videos and do some streaming. So when that starts, and it will start soon, I hope you'll be here along with me for the ride. By all means, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. There is more coming. And share this out for me, and let me know in the comments. Let's get the dialogue going about what you think of Dark Empire Luke, what you think of the comic line that he's from. Did you read it? Did you like it? Let's keep the dialogue. Let's keep the conversation going. So yeah, like, subscribe, share, and I will definitely be seeing you again soon. So until then,